Think the movies gave you the real Thor? They got it wrong. He wasn't blonde. He wasn't chill. He was basically a walking, red-bearded thunderstorm with anger issues who solved 99% of his problems with one move, hitting them really hard. Welcome to the real legend of Thor, the Norse god of thunder, where divine justice sounds a lot like boom. And this story packs more thunder than Friday night traffic in Valhalla. Long before Hollywood made him pretty, Thor was shaking the skies in ancient Norse mythology. He's the son of Odin, the All-Father, and Jord, the literal earth. Yep, Mom is the ground you walk on. Try rebelling against that. Thor's job. Keep the universe safe from giants, trolls, and cosmic weirdos who want to turn everything into chaos. While Odin zits around collecting poems and wisdom, Thor's out there doing manual labor for the cosmos. Thor's family life could be its own Netflix series. He's married to Sif, the goddess with perfect golden hair, until Loki decided she needed a haircut. His kids Thrudr, Modi, and Magni are basically mini Thors. Strong, loud, and occasionally smarter than Dad. Then there's Loki. Half Marvel, half Norse. Half brother, half uncle, full-time headache, part-time chaos consultant. Together, they make Asgard's most dysfunctional family look like keeping up with the Aesir. The Hammer Heist. One fine Asgard morning, Thor stretches and reaches for his hammer. Cue horror. Mjolnir is gone. Turns out the culprit is the giant Thrym, sneakier than Loki on April Fools. Thrym demands Freya as his bride before handing over Mjolnir. Freya, not interested, opts out immediately. Solution? Thor squeezes into a bride's dress. Loki can barely hold it together. Thor devours the wedding feast, making the giant suspicious. But when Mjolnir is brought out for blessing, Thor grabs it and transforms the wedding into pure chaos. Giants learn, don't mess with a thunder god's favorite toy. The fishing trip. There's fishing, and then there's Thor fishing. He's hanging out with Hymir the Giant, who's about as cheerful as corporate employees on a rainy Monday, and the plan is simple. Catch something big. Thor grabs the head of Hymir's best ox for bait, because worms are for mortals, and they row out to sea. Thor casts his line. The world's serpent Jormungandr bites. Suddenly the ocean churns, the boat's creaking, and Thor's leaning back like he's in a worldwide strongman contest. He's heaving so hard that his feet punch through the hull. Jormungandr, enormous and fuming, rises from the depths, probably regretting his life choices. Thor, hammer raised, is about to solve another problem the way he does best. But Hymir, terrified of cosmic consequences, cuts the line. Splash! The serpent dips back underwater, and Thor is left with the big fish story to end all fish stories on Instagram. Next time someone brags about their weekend catch, just show them this myth. Loki's prank gone wrong. In Asgard, if there's trouble, you can bet Loki's nearby with a sly grin. One day, Loki gets bored, never a good sign, and decides to shave off Sif's glorious golden hair. No reason, just for laughs. Thor's wife wakes up bald and furious, and Thor's rage is bigger than his chariot's insurance premium. Thor grabs Loki and threatens to turn him into a football, Norse style. Loki, talking faster than a stand-up comic, promises to fix everything. Off to the dwarves he goes. The dwarves, crafty geniuses and probably allergic to Loki's flair, create even better hair for Sif, plus, just for giggles, a few extra magical gifts. Odin's spear, Freya's golden necklace, and yes, Mjolnir itself. So thanks to Loki's prank, Thor ends up with his legendary hammer. Balancing cosmic chaos and creativity, that's Loki. If only he'd learned to stay away from scissors. Every story ends the same way. Thor loses his temper, and someone loses their face. Forget the Marvel glow-up. The real Thor was red-bearded, loud, and perpetually hungry. His main accessory? Mjolnir, a short-handled hammer forged by dwarves after Loki messed up yet another bet. He wears a strength belt called Megingjörd, iron gloves, and rides a chariot pulled by 2 goats, which he eats every night and resurrects in the morning. Basically, he's the Norse version of someone who brings their own lunch every day forever. His hammer wasn't just a weapon. It was used to bless marriages and protect homes, because nothing says happily ever after like a hammer hovering over your vows. In Viking times, Thor was the people's favorite god. Big, loyal, and not nearly as moody as Odin. Farmers, sailors, and warriors wore Mjolnir pendants for protection, a subtle way of saying, "Please don't smite me today." Before battles or storms, folks would raise a mug of ale and toast to Thor, which, let's be honest, is still a decent life motto. Even when Christianity spread, people kept wearing Thor's hammer secretly, like an ancient version of liking both Marvel and DC, but not admitting it publicly. I hope you remember that Odin's medieval LinkedIn name is Woden, which is where we get Wednesday. Similarly, Thursday is Thor's Day. It looks like it was the same PR team, and they're still celebrating. Thor wasn't the wisest god, but he was the realist. He didn't play politics. He smashed problems. His moral compass was simple. If it's evil, hit it. If it moves after that, hit it again. And yet, beneath all the thunder, he was fiercely loyal, especially to humans. In a pantheon full of schemers, Thor was the guy who actually showed up. Scholars think Thor symbolized the everyman's god, strong, honest, and slightly bad at impulse control. His job description is longer than your internet bill. Some say the fishing myth is a meteor story. Others are sure it's just about catching dinner. Some even argue he was a resistance icon during the Christian conversions, the ancient version of "I'm not switching teams." But here's where it gets weird. Did Thor's myths inspire later depictions of Zeus, Saint Michael, or even Superman? Historians can't agree, but one thing's clear. Thunder sells. Fast forward to today. Thor's in comics, video games, and Hollywood blockbusters, but no movie, no comic, and no protein shake will ever match the mythic chaos of the original. The ancient Thor didn't pose heroically on rainbows. He blew them up by accident. So next time you hear thunder, maybe don't think Marvel. Think, oh no, he's angry again. Which Thor do you prefer? The charming Avenger or the red-bearded storm with goat-powered transportation? If Odin traded an eye for wisdom, Thor traded peace and quiet for the sound of thunder. And honestly, thank the gods he did. Here's one for you. If you had Mjolnir for a day, what would you smash first? Bonus. Make it funnier than Thor in a dress. Smash that like button like it's a frost giant. Subscribe for more ancient gods, divine drama, and mythological madness. And stay tuned, because next time, we're diving into Loki's betrayals and the apocalypse known as Ragnarok. Remember, the gods may be ancient, but their chaos is eternal.